Welcome in as we are set to talk about the latest big Hollywood release, and that is Venom: The Last Dance. I have not seen this movie. We'll get into more of why in just a few moments. I'm Tim Melton. That's Tyler Johns. Tyler has seen this, and I have some questions. Maybe these are questions that you share as well with Venom 3 being released this weekend. Here's the sort of log line on the movie: Eddie and Venom on the run face pursuit from both worlds. As circumstances tighten, they're compelled to make a heart wrenching choice that could mark the end of their symbiotic partnership. So, point number one here for you, Tyler. I didn't love the first Venom. I didn't even see the second one. I've decided to sit out on Venom: The Last Dance. Am I missing anything that you would consider to be substantial comic book cinema lore?
Substantial, no. I do think that if you are a fan of the banter and the humor between Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote character,
Which obviously I'm not because I haven't continued past
right,
chapter one.
right, fair enough. If that's the case, you can skip this one. I do think that it is worth seeing, though, if you set your expectations accordingly.
Okay. Is the movie more funny or is it more built on its action set pieces, this particular entry?
I would say it builds on the comedy more. There are some solid action sequences in this, but overall, I felt like most of that was just cutting away from the good parts of the movie, as well as the different scenes with the military and the villain of the film, which was really disappointing.
So I've heard that that stuff is sort of disposable, sort of the main
Completely
stories
disposable.
disposable,
Absolutely.
but you're either all in or you're not on sort of the buddy system that is Venom and Eddie, and whether or not they can course this sort of land in which they've been set upon here. Is there any Spider-Man reference whatsoever in this movie?
There is not. At one point, one of the military generals mentioned sending in the six, and I was like, "Oh, are they actually still going to try to build to Sinister Six?" Absolutely not. It was just six soldiers.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. All these movies are proudly PG-13 in
hmm
this franchise, this series, this Venom series. Has that hurt the franchise in your opinion? Because it totally killed my interest when you introduce a character like Carnage in the second one, and then you look at the MPA rating and it's PG-13, and I'm thinking to myself, how do you properly introduce Carnage, one of the most absolutely most vile and violent characters in comic book history, and make it a PG-13 movie? I just feel like the PG-13 rating has turned me off to this. Do you feel like that's been a misstep creatively with the franchise?
Yes and no. You could argue that you could take the Deadpool route with the Venom character, and it would be a much better film series, and I would agree with that. But I don't think you're really missing anything with PG-13. I mean, you still see Venom eat people's heads and chomp people in half
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. You see blood spray out of the alien monsters in this movie. So, I mean, unless you want a Terrifier 3 experience
No,
with
no, no.
Venom, then I don't think you're missing out
I
on
don't
anything.
necessarily need that. I just feel like when you go in, you sort of know where the ceiling is on these types of movies
That's
based
true.
on the rating. And I feel like that affects my overall interest in going out and buying a ticket. Should Sony, in your opinion, stop making superhero movies? That's really, I think, the biggest negative as to why people may not purchase a ticket to go see this thing is because it is a Sony superhero movie and it's got a stank on it from a lot of different movies. And you mentioned the Sinister Six. There's a reason we won't get that movie. Uh, should Sony just sort of tip their cap and say, this has been the last ride for us making superhero cinema?
Think they should. I mean, I think the argument has always been, well, they can make money on these IP. They're Spider-Man characters, but these movies don't make money. So you wonder, not good movie, not good profit. Why does it exist?
So this thing's totally disposable.
Absolutely.
And if you're just looking for a way to cut off your brain for a couple hours, go see this movie. But if you're looking for something a little bit deeper that connects to other lore, maybe this isn't the film for you.
I would agree with that 100%. I had a lot of fun, but that's also because I lowered my expectations to where I expected something just slightly better than Madam Web. That was all I was hoping
That's
for
a
with
low
this one.
bar, Tyler. You're still not selling it to me.
I know, but Sony has set that bar with their extended Spider-Man universe. There's no reason for me to
Yeah.
expect anything more than Madam Web.
I think this movie's gonna underperform at the box
I would
office,
agree.
and I don't think there's gonna be a huge amount of interest. If you look at Venom from 2018, worldwide, that movie made $856 million worldwide. If you look at Venom Let There Be Carnage from 2021, that movie, a little bit of a decline there in $506 million worldwide. I think Venom The Last Dance would be very fortunate to get to $500 million worldwide. But the
Ooh.
international audiences is what props up this
Mhm.
franchise, and we'll see if that's the case here with The Last Dance. Since we are getting into all kinds of spoilers, is this The Last Dance in your opinion? How did they end the movie?
So they try to go the Spider-Man No Way Home route where Eddie needs to grow past needing Venom constantly attached to him, but still remember all the good memories they have. But there's also a post-credit scene at the very, very end where you see a cockroach get attached to the Venom symbiote.
So they leave the
So
door open for
they leave the
narratively.
door open, but at the end of the movie, you see Eddie by himself mourning the loss of his friend and going to see the going to see the Statue of Liberty and just sightseeing like him and Venom always talked about.
So I have a sweet spot in my cinema sort of taste profile
Mhm.
for Vegas movies. Is there a
Yes.
lengthy sequence in Vegas?
Oh, yes, yes. So this is part road trip movie, and they end up in Vegas, a lot of fun at the casino, and then they pop over to Area 51
Oh,
because aliens.
course. Yeah, you got to do that. If you want to spend some time in Vegas, we recommend our title sponsor. That is my bookie. Use promo code next round for a first time deposit bonus. You can cash out and win or let it ride at my bookie. It feels like Eddie would probably want to cash out and the Venom character would want to let it ride based on
That
what I've seen thus far.
that is what happened. Spent all the money at the slot machines and said, I Eddie, I need more money."
I wish you would have done the whole review in that voice. Bet and play absolutely anything, anytime, anywhere, only with our friends at MyBookie. We appreciate their support here of the Meltdown. We'll have more movie reviews in the future that feature definitely both of us, but this is a film that maybe like you, I just can't get excited for, and I really don't want to waste my time on. I don't see anything that is rewarding about going to this experience. So that's why Tyler gets an assignment like this, and we appreciate all of his efforts. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're the Meltdown.